For this, you will need a large towel, and I'd like you to take the towel, fold it in two lengthways, and then roll it up into a really tight and quite dense roll. When you have that all rolled up, come to standing. Take your feet hip distance apart and parallel, or whatever is comfortable for you. Close or downturn your eyes. Bring your attention to the sensations in your body. Can you feel your heart? Can you feel your breath? Bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Bring your attention all the way up your back body and down your front body, just inside the skin, seeking out any sensations you feel there. Bring your attention inside the skin, up the left side of your body, inside the skin, up the right side of your body, down the inside of your arms, up the outside of your arms. Begin seeking any sensations that are within your body. How does your left foot feel in comparison to your right? Your left knee in comparison to your right? Your left hip in comparison to your right? Your left shoulder in comparison to your right? Can you feel the center of your body? Do you have any sense of a center of your body and all the layers out from that? When you breathe, where can you feel your breath? Can you feel it just in your nostrils, or can you feel it go deeper into your body? When you breathe in, take your hands out and up and notice the sensations in your body. Exhale, take them out and down. Two more like that. Inhale, hands go out and up. Where does the skin move? Where do the bones move? Where does the breath go? Last one. Inhale, take your hands out and up. As you exhale, take your hands out and down, nod your chin towards your chest and just roll yourself towards the floor. Stop before your fingertips touch the floor and notice the sensations at the back of your body. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, roll yourself back up again, just one vertebra at a time. This is an assessment tool, not a movement tool, so there's no right way of doing this. Nod your chin towards your chest. As you exhale, roll yourself down, stop before your fingers touch the floor. Breathe in this position, and as you breathe out, roll yourself back up again. What does the left side of your back feel like in comparison to the right side of your back? Last one. Nod your chin towards your chest, roll yourself down, stop before your fingers touch the floor. Notice what your back feels like, your legs, your neck, your shoulders, and then roll yourself back up again, one vertebra at a time. Come to the floor and take the towel with you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to place the towel on the floor, and we're going to lie onto it where our pelvis is on the towel. Now, your pelvis is the bony bit at the top of your buttocks. It's not your low back, so we want to go a little bit below the waistband. And what we're going to do is lie with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, head on the ground and pelvis on that rolled towel. So this is really about letting your pelvis drop down into this rolled towel. When you find a good position for the towel where you feel you can really let your weight drop down into it, you're going to just tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. Now, as little effort as possible on the tilting. This is about trying to melt the tissue at the back of your pelvis into the rolled towel. So while we might feel that we want to move a lot in the pelvis, keep it small just for the moment with as little effort as possible, rocking forwards and backwards. And then we're going to move the pelvis just a little bit left and a little bit right. If you had a tray of water in your pelvis, you spill the water, just a little trickle out your left hip, then you bring the water back to level, and then you spill the water, just a little trickle out your right hip, back to the center with as little effort as possible, spilling the water out one hip and then the other hip. Breathing all the while. And then bring your pelvis back to the center. Let it be heavy on the towel. Move the towel. Just let your pelvis onto the floor. Notice what that feels like. We're going to take the towel up higher along the ribs. So it's about your mid back. So this is your low back, these are your shoulders, about halfway through to halfway between those two. You might need a book or something to elevate your head off the floor. And then you're going to lie back again in that position. The towel is underneath the ribs. My head is on the books. So this can be quite sensory for a lot of people. So keep your head on the books and then take your hands, interlock them behind your head, and just let your head onto the books and try to let as much weight as possible drop down into the towel. As you breathe out, bring your elbows towards each other. As you breathe in, open your elbows away. Breathe out, bring your elbows towards each other. Breathe in, take your elbows away. This time, just take your right elbow into the center line and let yourself rock a tiny little bit to the left. Open your elbows out. Lift your left elbow, roll yourself a little bit to the right, back to the center. Lift your right elbow, roll a little bit to the left, back to the center. Lift your left elbow, roll a little bit to the right and back to the center. If you're able, bring your elbows together, lift your head and your shoulders, bring your nose to point through your knees, then lower back down again. Open your elbows out wide. One more. Bring your elbows towards each other, lift your head and your shoulders, lower yourself down, and open your elbows. Roll over onto one side. Bring yourself up. You can get rid of the books or the block. And the towel is going to go underneath the very front part of your hips. So it's just where your leg becomes your pelvis. So your hip bones are here and it's just a little bit lower than your hip bones. Take one hand on top of the other. You're on your tummy and put your forehead on your hands if you're able to. And as we did in the others, let your pelvis be heavy. And with as little effort as possible, just begin to move your pelvis forwards and backwards. Then move your pelvis a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. Lift your right leg, bend your right knee, straighten your right leg and put it down. As little effort as possible, lift your left leg, bend your left knee, straighten your left leg and put it down. Lift your right, bend the knee, straighten the leg, put it down. Lift the left, bend the knee, straighten and put it down. Slightly different. Lift the right leg, bend the knee, turn your knee in and out just a few times. Let the weight go down through the front of your hip into the towel Release the leg back to the floor, change legs, lift the leg, remember as little effort as possible, bend the knee, turn in and out just a few times. Release the leg back to the floor, put your hands underneath your chest, bring yourself up to all fours, and last one, I'm going to re-round the towel. This one is a little bit more complicated. So you're going to make a kind of a rainbow shape with the towel, and that rainbow shape is going to fit in underneath your ribs. So if you put your fingers on your ribs, you'll feel the bones of your ribs. And if you move down, you'll start to feel the flesh of your tummy. It's going into the flesh of your tummy just underneath your ribs. So you have that in that little rainbow shape, and you're going to bring yourself to lie onto it. So remember, the towel is in the fleshy bit of your tummy, not on your ribs, although you might feel the sensation in your ribs. If you're able to, you're going to take one hand on top of the other, elbows are out wide. For some people this is very sensory and this is as far as they can go. If you're able to, let your forehead down onto your hands, and as we've been saying, let the weight of your body drop into the towel. If this is too much, push your elbows into the floor and keep your weight a little bit off the towel. But if you're able to today, you can take your forehead to your hands and you're just going to breathe right into the towel, as if you can push your flesh into the towel and relax it away from the towel as you exhale. Then you're going to just tilt your pelvis left and right, as we've been doing, as little effort as possible, and the sensation should shift from left to right. If this is too sensory at any stage, just come away from it. There's no need to do it today. Shifting left and right. Lastly, lift your head and your shoulders, press your elbows into the floor, slide your breastbone a little bit further forwards, and then let your head and your shoulders down. This is feeling of tension rather than a big movement. Lift your head and your shoulders, slide your breastbone forwards, and then let your head and your shoulders down. Put your hands onto the floor, bring yourself up, first of all, to all fours. Wait here for just a moment. Really important you come up slowly from these, and then bring yourself up to standing. Last little check-in. Close or downturn your eyes. What does your body feel like now? What does your breath feel like? Can you feel your heartbeat? Can you feel the center of your body in layers out? As you inhale and take your hands out and up, is that different from the start? Just do that once more. Does the movement happen in the same places as you lift and lower your arms? Nod your chin towards your chest and roll yourself down towards the ground. Stop before your fingers touch the floor. Is the sensation at the back of your body the same as it was before or different? Roll yourself back up again. Very last one. Breathe in. As you breathe out, nod your chin towards your chest. Roll yourself towards the floor. Stop before your fingertips touch the floor. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, roll yourself all the way back up again. And you can open your eyes.